Hello friends, Karla here, and I am back for another flip through of my Happy Planner. I'm using this cover right now, and I have switched to larger rings and taken out the first half of the year and put those in a different set of rings. So I think I'm probably going to end up with 2 books by the end of the year, but we'll kind of see what happens. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. But I wanted to show you my May pages. Finally got those done, and I'm caught up with June and almost July. If you saw my last video, I was kind of sharing a process I'm using to get caught up, because somehow I just fell behind through traveling and starting a new job and that kind of thing. I kind of got off my normal routine. So if you've been working on your memory keeping and you kind of got behind or a little bit off track, I'll link that video in the description box, and maybe there'll be something in there that will help you get back on track too. So, okay, let's get started. This is my May dashboard, and I use these are not real patches, but they are just some cute ones I found online that I just kind of used as clip art. And you know, I used to, when I traveled as a student, I remember seeing other students' backpacks and they had all these cute little patches all over them, and I just thought they were so cute, and so I thought this would be cute to use on this page. And I just found patches of the places that we traveled, because I traveled for 2 weeks in May with my boyfriend and his daughter. And so a lot of the month was spent planning, packing, and then traveling. So I found some cute little patches of some of the places that we went. We traveled to, let's see, 5 different countries. He kind of had specific things that he wanted to share with his daughter. So we went to like Italy, and we saw Rome and Florence and Venice, and we went to Spain and saw Toledo and Madrid. And in France, we visited Paris. And then in England, we went to London. I have my little Tower Bridge there. Oh, and we also went to the Vatican in Italy. And then we also went to Ireland. Okay, so on my monthly pages, I wanted to kind of keep with our travel theme, and so I did highlights of our travels. And so I did just kind of random things that I just thought were fun, like seeing the art of El Greco. I had never seen any of his pieces in person, and I just thought it was interesting, and I would love to learn more about him and his life and his art. Floating down the Grand Canal was just amazing. I found some really fantastic Marie Antoinette stationery at the Louvre. Maybe I'll just put together a little mini haul, and I can show you guys some of the cute stationery items that I found. We did some shopping in Florence. We visited the Cliffs of Moher on the coast of Ireland. I got to drink tea in London, so that was really fun, and it rained while we were there, so that's kind of like a London thing, right? Lots of rain. So it was just kind of fun thinking back on our trip and kind of picking out some of the fun highlights. And then the first week in May, well, I got to do this. If any of you, the rest of you are YouTubers, they have this great Creator Academy, and I had never really known about it, but there's tons. It's a great resource. There's lots of great classes and just all kinds of things you can learn about making your videos and sharing them with others. So I did the little boot camp one, and so I want to go back in now and do some of the other advanced level, because there's so much to learn. I'm just totally a newbie at YouTube and all this, you can probably tell, and all the technical things that go with it. So if you're a YouTuber, you might also enjoy learning some of the tips and tricks. The first week of the month, I have these cute little, we went to Dinky Town and went to 123 Sushi for, I think it was lunch or supper I guess, earlier in the week, and I just thought these little guys were cute, and so we just wanted to go on a walk, and we ended up in Dinky Town, and yeah, had some supper. I filmed a video that week. It was my dad's birthday that week, so I talked to him on the phone. and then it was also Cinco de Mayo that week. And then this was very strange. We went walking on Thursday evening, and it was strange. We were just walking around our neighborhood, and our neighborhood is kind of a mix of, there's like apartment buildings and condo buildings, and then also like restaurants and some bars and some shopping and grocery. So it's kind of a mix of commercial and residential. So anyway, we're walking, and there is outside seating at many of the restaurants and bars in our neighborhood, and we saw an actual donkey, like a real full-grown donkey, like standing at like an outside table next to these 4 people. There was like 2 couples sitting at the table, and then a donkey standing there next to them. I mean, it was just like the strangest thing. It was like, you know, sometimes people will bring their pets to the outdoor seating at restaurants, and the pet will just, you know, the little dog or something will just like kind of sit at the table, you know, on the ground. But it was just weird. Like, I've never seen a donkey. I mean, still have no idea what it was doing in the city, and how did they like transport it. So I don't know, it was very strange. Anyway, that was weird. I just remember we walked by and we were thinking, what's going on here? I filmed a couple videos that week, and then I took this picture of the sky. It looks okay here, but it was very hazy because they were having all kinds of fires, wildfires burning in Canada, and I live in Minnesota, so obviously we're just south of Canada. And I woke up on Saturday morning, and it was just very hazy and kind of smoky, and I was so surprised to see it, you know, this far south, but it was. So it was just kind of weird. It smelled very burnt outside. So that was kind of strange to wake up to that. And then on Sunday, it was Mother's Day, so I chatted with my mom, and Jose and I went and had some coffee and pizza that day. So that was my first week. The second week of the month, I was in full scale trying to finish up our itinerary for our trip. And as you can see, I really like Rick Steves' books. They're just very kind of just straightforward, and he has just very kind of simple information about like how to get somewhere and which like bus stop or metro stop, and the different ticket options and that kind of thing. So I got a bunch of his books from the library, and those were really helpful. So I was kind of just going through those that week and trying to, you know, finish up our itinerary and get all of our details about where we were staying and how we were getting from place to place. So that was kind of the last, I guess, rush to get that organized. So I spent a lot of time on that that week. I also watched the last episode of The Good Wife. But if any of you follow that show, you'll have to let me know what you think, because I thought it was kind of, I don't know, like it was unsettled. I feel like it wasn't, I like it when they totally like wrap up a show and just, you know, tie up all the loose ends and like answer all my questions. And I really didn't get the feeling of like, is she, you know, staying with her husband? And then that other guy, I can't remember his name, the guy with the little dimples, like showed up. And so, yeah, I don't know. I didn't love the ending. I just felt like you can't really tell. Her future seems very unsettled, and like who knows what direction she's going in. Maybe they do that so they can have another season, but I thought this was the final season, so I don't know. If you watched it, let me know what you thought. And let's see, I said I was ODing on Rick Steves' books this week, which was totally true, trying to get through all of our research. As you know, if you saw my earlier videos, we had been watching The Office, and we finally got to the end. So we finally saw the last episode, and yeah, I'm gonna miss these characters. I really grew to love them, and I thought they were so funny, so I'm gonna miss that show. And then this weekend, this 14th and 15th was the weekend before we left, and we were trying to figure out, you know, we decided we were gonna use backpacks, and so we had gotten backpacks for the trip, and you know, things always look larger until you start packing. So we kind of were trying to figure out how we were going to get, you know, everything in that we wanted to take. So yeah, that was a challenge, but anyway, and of course I wanted to leave room in case I did a little shopping while I was there. So that was a lot of our activities on the weekend before was laundry and trying to figure out how to get everything in the backpacks. Okay, on the next week of the month, the third week, that's when we actually took our trip. So our first stop was in London. I actually have a picture under here of family that we got to meet for dinner, but I didn't know if they wanted to end up in my video, so I just covered that up. But we went to London. We got to see Buckingham Palace and Big Ben and the British Museum, which was really awesome. And of course it rained while we were there, but I did get to have a cup of tea in London while it rained outside. So I thought that was kind of like the quintessential like London experience, right? British experience. So that was fun. We packed a lot in we were there like a day and a half, so I felt like we saw a lot in that time. And then we moved on to Venice. So I've got a couple pictures here of Venice and the pretty gondolas and the buildings. I've been to Venice before, and that's one of my favorite. I would say Paris and Venice are my two favorite cities in the world so far. I just think the architecture is so beautiful and the colors and just I love the history, everything about it. So that's one of my favorite places. I definitely would love to go back there and spend a little bit more time. But we stayed there. We were probably there for just like less than a day. It was a pretty short day. And then we moved on to Florence. And Florence is also wonderful because you have so much beautiful art and history. And we got to see the Uffizi Gallery. There's a couple pictures that I took there of the artwork and the Duomo. Here's a picture of the Uffizi Gallery, and this was some of the shopping outside. And we did get to stop and do a little shopping there. So I got some, you know, fun little stationery because Florence is kind of known for paper and the art of marbling and that type of thing. So I picked up some stationery there, so that was really fun. Yeah, very pretty. And we had really wonderful weather, I have to say. In Italy, the weather was just gorgeous, so had a wonderful, it was nice walking outside and just enjoying the sunshine. Okay, and on the second week of our trip, the last week of our trip actually, we went to Rome, and we saw the Vatican and the Colosseum. Those were kind of the two big things, I guess you could say. And this is the Vatican, and it was literally ready to just downpour on us. And there was these really great moody clouds that I thought were kind of interesting and looked a little foreboding, I guess. So I took a picture of that. And it was much nicer the next day when we went to the Colosseum, which was great because that was also an outdoor place. And then I don't know if any of the rest of you like doors, but not the band The Doors, but just architectural doors. I don't know what it is. I just find the architecture like around them and sometimes the door itself or like the color of the door is really interesting. So I take a lot of pictures of like doors and archways and that kind of thing that I just find interesting. So I put that picture in. That was also from Rome. Oh, and then these little cute charms I found. They are saints charms, and I found those at the Vatican at their little, they have a whole bunch of gift shops there. But let me show you. This is actually the one in the picture. And they have a different saint on each charm. And I actually ended up getting two of this one, so I think I'm gonna make some sort of like a little planner charm or something with this. But I'll show you what I did with the rest of them. Is I put them on a bracelet. So I had this bracelet at home, and when I got home I just thought, oh, that would be so cute, and have all these little charms. And I've kind of been learning, just going online and like reading about the different saints and their lives and that kind of thing, and it's been very interesting. So I'm kind of I loved the art of some of these different the different iconography and the artistic styles. So I've been having fun with that. That's kind of one of my souvenirs from our trip. And then after Rome, we headed to Paris, where we saw the Eiffel Tower, of course, and the Louvre Museum, and we got to take a little kind of relaxing boat ride down the Seine River. And this is my favorite picture that I took of the Louvre. It's got the pyramid and then this beautiful archway as we were kind of walking in to get our ticket. So I thought that was really pretty. So again, archway and a doorway. Always taking pictures of those. So that was fun. You know, I love Paris. I've been there several times before, and that is one city, Paris and Venice, that I just can never get enough of. So I could probably go many more times in my lifetime and still be happy to explore all kinds of new neighborhoods and nooks and crannies. So anyway, after Paris, we went to Spain, which I had never been to Spain before, so that was really interesting. We visited Madrid for one afternoon, where we went to the kind of downtown area, and I liked their architecture, and we also went to the Prado Museum. So that was fun. I had never been to that art museum before, and it was fun to see the art of El Greco, because he did a lot of, lived in Spain for much of his life and did a lot of art there, and also in Toledo, where he also lived. So it was kind of fun to learn about him and his art. I'd like to read more, I guess maybe a biography or something about his life, because I found his art very interesting. And then this was Toledo, and I don't know if you've ever been to that city, but it's like a labyrinth. It's very hard to find your way around, and I loved it for that reason, is that it's fun checking out all these little narrow streets and alleys and cute little shops and that kind of thing. So I thought that was fun, and I would definitely love to go back there and see and visit more. It was pretty hot that day, so we really got our exercise in. Walking all those cobblestone streets are really hard on your feet. But that was really fun. And then we were getting to the end of our trip, and so we flew to Ireland. Okay, and here was the last 2 days of our trip, the last couple days of May, and we went to Ireland because we were flying out of Ireland, and we stopped at the Cliffs of Moher. Those are on the west coast of Ireland, and they were absolutely gorgeous. I had never really learned anything about the cliffs before I went there, and it was really fascinating, and we just got a little touch of Ireland, and I would love to go back and just explore, because I love all the history, and the scenery is just lovely. So definitely love to go back to Ireland someday. And we also, on our way out to the cliffs, we stopped by this castle and just snapped a couple photos. And we didn't have time to go in, but I would love to check that out again too, because it looked really old and lots of history. So that kind of thing just totally fascinates me. And then on the way home, we watched a movie. I picked the Finest Hours to watch, and I wrote in my journal notes here that I cried like a baby. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it, and you love like true stories. It was very suspenseful. And it was just very, suspenseful and very touching, and I just loved it. It was a true story, and I always go crazy for movies that are based on real events. So I loved it. So if you haven't checked that one out, check it out on DVD. And anyway, that was my month of May, and I've got my June pages done, so I'll be getting those up soon as well. But if you enjoy these videos, please make sure you subscribe. And I plan to finish out the rest of the year in my Happy Planner. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys. Bye.